Sir, how can I memorize this passage? Are there any strategies that I can memorize this faster? Ilia, what are your tactics to play this by heart? So these are all questions that I'm getting from students, from people on Instagram, on YouTube, asking me that question, how to memorize the music. Well, hello there, I'm Ilia Laporev, cellist and cello teacher, and in today's video I will share with you some of my tips and personal experiences on how to memorize music. On my channel, I produce cello technique tutorials, play-along videos, as well as high-quality music videos performed by me. So if you are new here, well, first of all, nice to meet you and consider to subscribe. But before we go, just a little sip of the coffee. So let's go straight into it. So first of all, to play by memory, this is very good for in the long run. Because when you are playing a piece by heart, you're more into the music, and as you're not watching or staring at the score, you can pay more attention on what's happening here in your hands, on the technique, and so on. And also because when you're staring the whole time at the score, you're distracted, so you're gonna lose a couple of things here on the cello technique. So alright, we're talking about memorizing music, to not to stare at the score and so on, but how do we do it? Well, first of all, you need to have a lot of patience. Patience is crucial because you're gonna need to play that music, that passage over and over again. Because the more you're playing, the more you're rehearsing, the more information you're sending into your brains. It's not only about brain memory, but also about finger and muscle memory. That's why the more you study the music, the more you get familiar with things. It's simple as that. So I also highly recommend that you give priority to the most difficult passages of the piece. So when you read the music for the first time, observe, analyze where are difficult passages and start with them. And start right away with these suckers. First in a slow tempo, and then bit by bit, when you're feeling comfortable, you can speed up the tempo until the desired tempo or the tempo indicated in the score. And once again, the more you're practicing, the more you study, the more you get familiar with things. Simple as that. So another tip that I can give you is I like to practice measure by measure, so step by step. What do I mean by that? So when I'm playing a particular piece and so I come to the difficult passage, as I said in the tip before, of course, focus first on the difficult passage. So you're practicing that. Once you've got it, I like to go one measure before. So to try to connect these two measures and to test myself if that particular difficult passage is going well or not. This is just to test myself, so do that a couple of times. I don't know, 5 times, 10 times. It depends how quick you react with things. Unfortunately, this is of course not a thing, that you can do in one day. So if you have an upcoming event, make sure that you have some time in advance. Now that we're talking about events, so that includes concerts, competitions, and so on, there are 2 things. First of all, organize tryouts, and second, record yourself. So let's go to do the tryouts. When you organize tryouts, you can do that with a very small amount of people, because when you play in front for someone, the nerves are coming up, and this is great because like this also, bit by bit, you're breaking that ice. And why is it good to record yourself? It's because you can hear and see clearly what went wrong. So you can pay more attention to these particular places in your next practice sessions. So another tip that I can give you is when I'm not behind the cello, so when I'm not using the instrument, I like to listen recordings of other artists. Just to listen the music over and over again, because the more you listen to it, the more it gets inside your brain. Especially during very boring tasks, like dishwashing or you have to clean up the house. Let's combine. This is not nice, it's not fun, but you can make it more fun, by putting your earphones on, putting the music that you need to perform, that you need to study, and just listen it. It doesn't have to be over and over again, but do that every day, by small bits, because you're gonna see it's gonna enter in your brain, and this is gonna help a lot for the process of memorizing music. And also, when I don't know really what to do with my time, I just take the score. Let's say I have to play Bach, and I just take the score and I just study it, I just watch it, because visually it helps also a lot, So this is also a thing that you can do, but this is not something that I do often, but you can try it. So now I'm going to share with you some of my personal experiences. So last year I have recorded a CD. Here it is, my debut CD with Kodali Cello Solo Sonata. And except of that, what else do I play? So I play Kodali Sonata, I play Henze Serenade for cello solo, Lutoslavski Zacher Variations, and Salinen Elegia Sebastian Neitile. So it's all 20th century cello solo music. So anyway, this was a huge challenge because it's quite demanding. Kodali is very difficult technically. It took me around 2 months to memorize. And that was my goal. I wanted to memorize this because, again, as I said before, when you memorize, you're more deeper inside the music. By the way, the CD you can find on Amazon, or you can find it on the Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, and so on, all in the video description below. So see, there is no rush by memorizing things. Take your time. This is very important. So if you have an event and there is a date set, start in advance. Don't start last minute, so you're not going to have any surprises when you're going to perform. I'm going to show you a small excerpt of my Kodali Cello Solo Sonata on video. It's, by the way, here on YouTube. Also a link in the video description for the full video. Here it goes. Yes, as you could see on that little excerpt, there was a music stand there, but I just put it for the third movement, like almost near the end of the piece, because there was one passage that my brain just couldn't hold it together. So I just put the score there just in case, because it was a live performance and I couldn't just screw up, So, but the whole piece I played by heart. And the same happened with me with the Bach cello suite. So as many of you know that I have recorded the complete cello suites this year, I was facing the same problem and the same challenge. To memorize the complete Bach suites, this is quite a task because first of all the suites, there are like what, 2.5 hours of music? No, sorry, 2 hours, 20 minutes. Anyway, it's more than 2 hours, so it's a lot of music to memorize. So yeah, again, I started really in advance. Actually, with Bach, I started like 1 year in advance. No, actually, to be honest, Bach is something that I play already for my whole life, since I started to play the cello. Some movements were easier to memorize than others. For instance, this sucker here, so where it is. For me, the most challenging thing to memorize was suite number 5. Why was that? Again, because the original tuning, we have a scordatura going on. So scordatura again means, to change tonality with the string. So instead of the A string, I had to tune it down to the G string. So I had to recalculate everything. But it just sounds nicer to play with the original tuning. But that was the challenge because of the calculations, because you hit one note that you're used to hit, but it doesn't sound the same note. It's completely different. So that took me really a lot of time. Now I'm going to show you a small excerpt from a music video that I recorded in February with that prelude of the 5th Bach suite on video by heart. Check it out. So see, you saw me that I was really inside the music. I was not seeing any score, I was not staring, I was not distracted, so I really could focus a lot. But again, this took me a long time. Only that movement took me around 2 weeks. 2 full weeks. I'm practicing every day, the whole day long, that prelude. And except of practicing, as I mentioned before, I was listening the music over and over again and studying the score. So this really helps a lot for the process. Okay, now we came to the point that you might wonder, how long does that process take? Well, that depends on a lot of things. First of all, how long the music is, the level, the difficulty of the music, and this depends also on you, like how fast you react. Some people react faster than others, but no worries. Anyways, with these tips I'm giving you, and probably other tips that you can find on YouTube or on the internet or your teacher, these are all going to help you in order to memorize anything that you want. Well, if you are playing pieces of one page, like, I don't know, very easy pieces like from the Suzuki method or Piatti cello method, like very simple pieces, well, in a couple of days this is done. You play this by heart. But when you're playing more complicated pieces like this Kodali thing, yeah, this can take really a while, or Bach. This takes really a while. So this is it, guys. These are the tips and thoughts that I want to pass to you in order to memorize music. Unfortunately, fast hacks don't exist. It doesn't exist, you know, like abracadabra and that's it. You know, without any work, you can memorize things. No, it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. The keywords here are practice and patience. As the expression itself says, hard work pays off, and that's true. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it was useful for you. If you have any suggestions or more suggestions, comment below so that we can help others in need. Well, with this I want to thank you a lot for watching, and we see us next time then with another video by Fayar Studies of the Young Cellists. See you. Cheers.